Hello, today we are going to proofread the source code of a number of KDE Git repositories using the integrated development environment CLion. So first of all, I have set up KDE src-build for Qt 6. Let's go there. Okay, and now let's download some KDE Git repositories. Let's go with KDE games and make it src only. So only download source code, update source code using Git. So kconfig is a KDE framework version 6. Kcorridor is the same. Kinternationalization. Kcodex is also a KDE framework. So a number of KDE frameworks, I don't know, 60 will be Git cloned. Then we can see the progress. After that, some libraries needed by the KDE games are going to be Git cloned, and then the individual Git KDE games will get downloaded. We're still at KDE frameworks. libkdgames, games, a library for KDE games. Okay, I'll be back once all of the needed KDE Git repositories get Git cloned. Okay, so all of the KDE games have been Git cloned: kpad, colv, collision, kmahjong, ktuberling, etc. The next step is to, so we don't really need to build the KDE Git repositories because we're only going to look at the source code, and we're using the integrated development environment CLion to find grammar, spelling issues that don't really require any compilation step. So doing just KDE src-build and then the name of a KDE Git repository such as ktuberling and then --src only is pretty fast. It only does Git operations, does not do cmake configure, build, or install. Okay, let's start CLion. Okay, let's clean everything up. And now we go open. The directory is tilde/kd/src. In my case, because it's Qt 6, I have this 6 letter in here. So we go OK. So this is how it looks like. Half of the Git repositories are KDE frameworks and KDE libraries. The rest are games. Okay. Then we have this problems Alt-1 tool window. Let's go there. And then go project errors and say inspect code. Okay. So this operation indexing will take a while, and we'll need to let it do its thing because we've opened many Git repositories at once with thousands of source code files. So CLion takes its time to, so these updating indexes would be us waiting for CLion to actually finish loading all of these projects inside the IDE. And after that, we're going to press the inspect code button to start finding issues in all of the source code that's in this tilde/kd/src directory, even if the source code is not actually included in cmake projects. Okay, so there's no progress anymore. The source code finished loading in the integrated environment. Inspect code. Says whole project, analyze, so the defaults. This is the progress. Again, because many thousands of files are present in the ~kd/src directory, it will take a while for CLion to finish inspecting all of them. But it inspects even files that you would not expect, such as markdown files and docbook files, which are the source code for the KDE application handbooks. And we're going to concentrate on just one part. So this is the type of issues that CLion will encounter. And many of these are false positives. Like a large number is not actually actionable, not actually a warning, such as this one. Says table format is incorrect, but then this is a warning in the sense that it's a valid table format in Markdown, but not all of the lines are have the same width in the source code, which is a nonsense. You should not do that. Why put a humongous line with minuses because you have a cell in the second column that's really long, such as the second one, this one. Okay, so we'll ignore most of the types of errors for now, and we're going to exclusively go to inspection results, proofreading, and then grammar. Okay, well, we might want to wait until everything's finished, or we can start already. So let's go for the CPP files. Use a comma after so. I will not do git commits for a while for the issues of missing commas. Okay, let's see this one. Assume that service is an absolute path since we're being called. Relative paths would have been allowed unless kiosk said no. Probably in here we'll need to add a closing parenthesis. The verb cases is singular. These two cases. Okay, this seems like a wrong thing to do. Let's connect. Let's ignore all of the licenses. We can't really change the text of open source licenses. Okay. What about this thing? So this will need to ignore always the .clang- format with control instruction. What's this? Asterisk a semicolon. What else? Verifies that KDE-build itself can get to a basic install from a supported Scratch Docker. Yeah, it seems fine to me. The modal verb must requires the verb's base form. Note that for adding labels, the label must first be created. Label must first be created in the project. Okay, something like this. Okay, we'll ignore where it suggests that we put hyphens. So adding a minus between two words like trade-off and online and whatever. I'm not exactly sure what the spelling is, and it seems too minor for now. We're not doing commas, especially not before and. Okay, after the auxiliary verb do, use the base of a form. Did you mean provide? Of course we do. libACL does not provide a means of checking for extended ACL and default ACL separately. Okay, next. We copy the leftover part. Leftover part. Yeah, I guess the suggestion is okay, but we'll ignore it for now. For abbreviations such as artificial intelligence, use all capital letters. What is this thing? Bovo AI Gabor. Yes, let's do that. Where are you? In the worst case scenario, the merge request, the GitLab merge request will get closed, and that's it. Not a problem. So force thinking, 2 lines of docstring. Set force thinking. Okay. Next. So comma, so we'll ignore it. We just fix this one. We're not going to add minuses, as in 32-bit. What though means? It does not matter at all, because under Windows, long and int are both 32-bit, even on 64-bit. You don't really know what Windows does on ARM64, right? Okay. If the edge is convex, compute its separation. Valid. Next one. Zigzag is a single word. Yeah, we'll ignore for now because of minuses. So a setup is a noun, setup is a verb, yes. Set up a velocity bias for restitution. What is this thing? Box to the golf. We'll ignore this one. Okay, this is not an article, it's math. Compute the new simplex metric if it is substantially different than metric, then flush the simplex. Looks okay to me. Did you mean different from? Yeah, let's go. Then let's also go with setup. Okay. Thus the shapes are overlapped, not doing commas. Keep the bit between 0 and the bits or something. Okay, I don't know what to fix there. Sub 3. Okay, minuses. Whoa. You have used passive voice. Consider using active voice. Okay, gonna go there. No commas. The verb assert. The use of epsilon here causes the assert on lower to trip in some cases. Sounds okay to me. Cases. Cases is not a verb. Cases is a, I don't know, substantive thing. Okay. Element I, variable in loop. Okay, what's this? A safe state consists only of the size of the undo queue to rewind. Consists only of the size of the undo queue to rewind in order to, like that. Okay, next. No commas. Need. The sprites need to resize and redraw. Okay. Seems better like this. An apostrophe might be missing. Perform a move by a delta given by the sprite's velocity, correct? Perform a move by a delta given by the sprite's velocities. The sprite's velocities. Okay. Let's go with that. Okay, 2 consecutive dots. Turns the backside of the card 90 EPS degree. What is an EPS? I'm not sure. Let's go next. We're not looking at licenses. This is what license is this? Creative Commons CC0 1.0. Okay, let's close some of the tabs. Right click, close all tabs. The subject information shows properties of who. Subject information shows properties. Who certificate applies to. Yeah, very strange sentence. Whom the certificate was signed by. Of who signed the certificate? Why isn't this simpler? Of who issued the certificate? Yeah. Next. Pronoun missing. Will the character go past the center of the cell it's on? The character is the noun here. So X and Y, and X is horizontal. Does not move. let's go it in here. So 1 it, 2, 3, 4. If it does not move, hopefully. Okay. Save all. This allows multiple encodings of a language to share one frequency table. We do not handle character base on its original encoding string, but convert this encoding string to a number. Here, call old order. Okay, let's go plural here. This allows multiple encodings of a language to share one frequency table, hopefully. Next. If previous is high, keep this even if it's an ASCII. Where do you check if it's an ASCII? Keep this even if it's 0 to 127 or something. Let's go. Next. We're not going to do commas. No minuses. String literals which are backslash double quote sensitive. Okay, seems okay to me. Macros to test the type of an object. Great. Not going to add minuses. Consider using only public to avoid wordiness. Lesser public, not lesser general public. You should have received a copy of the GNU General Public License and the GNU Lesser General Public License, hopefully, right? Yeah, let's search for this thing. Not GPL. So these are GPL only files, not LGPL. And there's a file which has dual licensing GPL and LGPL. You're not going to find it like this ever. Let's see it like this. So we have two hits, both in GPGME. So definitely license was missing there. Okay. Let's save everything. Next. Where are we? This thing. client XML, Wayland. Wow. Each object can have its events placed in a particular queue. Yes, sir. Prevents interactions outside of column view bounds. Prevent interactions outside of column view bounds. Prevent interactions outside column view bounds. Yeah, so the off is kind of extra there. No commas. You repeated a word. Let's see. The standard accepts these, and certain server implementations do this. Yeah, I understand what it tries to do. A very short positive natural number such as x or y coordinate without an a. Not doing minuses. The phrase is duplicated. This program is based on. Okay. Who knows where we're now? Kiriki. Okay. Sounds like a KDE game. This phrase is redundant and stands for number. Consider using ISBN. The unique identifier of the text, this can be an ISBN. Okay, I understand what is happening there. Possible typo detected. Where? F7, FD, base. Okay, looks okay to me. Okay. We iterate enough to make sure we wrap the circular buffers for both regular data and file descriptors or something. Nope. No. Not doing comma. Do we have enough for another read? Yes. To executive dots. Do not overlap left area. Yeah, let's make this more human. Okay, next. Let's save everything. Look up white space. The type of hook data which can be used by a routine to look up the hook data. Okay, I understand. Next. Human readable, not doing minuses. What? Loose punctuation mark. This is some docstring, right? Yes. Okay, unpaired symbol, simple quote. Seems to be missing. Unlike many projects using GitHub and GitLab, Wayland has a linear recipe style history. I don't understand that. No documentation. Okay, next. Did you mean whoever? Oh, what's this? Wayland contributing. Okay. And or whomever gave the patch to you. Whoever. Yep, whoever. Next. A comma, not doing commas. Other than wording, the two licenses are substantially the same, with the exception of a non-advertising clause in X11 not included in expat. Except for, okay, I understand that. Next. You cannot set a non-existing activity to be the current. What's this? Key activities. Okay, let's do that. How do we go to the next one? Next problem. What's the shortcut for next problem? I don't know. You cannot remove a non-existing activity. Yep. Okay. What is this? GPGME conversion. Okay. You have used the passive voice repeatedly. If binary is 1, then 0 characters are allowed in the output. Sounds okay to me. 2 consecutive dots. Originally from, changed to the MIT expat style license for Wayland. Wayland, wow. This is going to be hundreds of Git commits, very small ones, and hundreds of GitLab merge requests, GitHub pull requests, etc. Use a comma, not going to go with commas. No commas. Only renaming is. For the user, moving isn't renaming. Only renaming is renaming. Wow, great. No comma. The personal pronoun I should be uppercase. What's this? Syndication tests. Okay. Next one. Use an A instead of an N. Passed on an open letter. Sounds okay. Did you mean there? They are undermining the college personas that we have so carefully constructed over the past 3 years or something. Like this. Okay, next. I'm not sure what's happening here. Whether or not should be whether. Like this, yes. Whether the subkey should expire. So it's still did not finish finding all of the issues in all of these files. It's just at 50%. And UID to the given key sounds okay to me. It will be properly escaped and joined into a well-formed command, joined into an well-formed. Yeah. This style of quotes. Yep. We were here before. General public license. Let's search for this thing. Whoa. Public license. GNU lesser general public license. GNU general public license. Sounds okay to me. Replace 34 currencies. Okay, next. Next. Cube. EG. Yes, why not? Close all other tabs, yes. Next. Let's find this EG thing. And case and whole word. We cannot look inside of PO because those are translations. So let's exclude the directory PO. What else? Sounds okay. So let's go here and replace. Nope. Bad thing. How do we undo this thing? Can't undo anymore. Okay, so that was a bad replace because I need to replace with the correct text. So hopefully I will not propose to commit this thing. Okay, so eg becomes eg dot becomes e dot g dot once, twice, next, next. It's mostly comments. Looking good. Next up. IE, the same thing. Replace, where are you? IE with IE. Let's look at those. Replace. What's the shortcut to replace ones? Control Shift 1. Control Shift 1. Control Shift 1. Okay. It's alive. This certainly not. Certainly not. Yes. Certainly not. Okay, that was about it. So it finished finding issues in all of the files inside of /kd/src directory. And how many are they? 4,000 grammar issues. Okay, we have some editing to do. Let's go from the bottom up. X Wayland. Not doing commas. A comment that is a commented function. Looks okay. This is an RSS feed test. Whose syndication auto test. Okay. X cursor. Whose X cursor? Wayland. Okay. What does it say? Looks okay to me. Phrase in future is British English. Do you mean in the future? To highlight differently in future. Works for me. Do not use this class directly outside of KIO. Okay. So this off is extra. The official name of this content management system is spelled with a capital P. WordPress with an uppercase P. Yeah. Might be. Only allow eject if we are an USB stick. Else we get the request could not be performed because of an I/O device error. Storage and memory stick. only allow eject if we are an USB stick. Okay, looks okay to me. Invalid ID, don't update it. What? Invalid ID, don't update. Where do they update? I'm not sure. Who's this? Plasma framework. Okay, next. No commas. Enable the vertical scroll bar, however. It's do not ask again everywhere except with information. Okay, let's do that. A comma might be missing. We don't do commas. So we offer, so the offer is for setting it, or we emit changed when it is cancelled. Nope, not doing that. No commas. No commas. Open compounds are not hyphenated. Okay, not doing minuses. Not doing commas. So afterwards is bad. Okay. If source is null, enter, leave, and motion events are sent only to the client that initiated the drag, and the client is expected to handle the data passing internally. Okay, next. In bit order sounds okay. Shell, what the heck? Not doing minuses for well behaved. Outside off, replaced with outside. No commas, outside off, comma, no minuses, off, comma, minus. If a user's fingers on a touchpad move down and this causes a WL pointer axis vertical scroll up event, natural scrolling, the physical direction is inverted. Okay, I'm not sure what that is. No minuses, no comma. Proactive. Comma, comma. The list of structs, functions, etc. Let's do that. Long-standing, comma, don't care, sounds okay to me, comma, afterwards is bad, the wall velocity would initialize on every new level. Wall velocity is initialized on every new level. Okay, next. Weight items are hooked into the IO select file descriptors to connect a file descriptor with a callback handler. Okay, sounds okay to me. A comma. Status sounds okay. Comma. Minus. All space back. String. Return a malloc. What's this? A malloc wide char string from a UTF encoding input string. Okay. String. Why the double spaces? Because that's the way it's done. These variables store the malloc name of alternative default binaries. They are set only once. Yes. Save all. After the auxiliary verb do, use the base form of a verb. Did you mean exist? The module handle of this DLL. If we are linked statically, DLL main does not exist, and thus the value of my H module will be null. Sounds okay. Not. Okay, not. We need to try to send first because the socket handle can't be used with a write file. Oh, looks okay for now. The writer does use a simple buffering strategy so that we are informed about write errors as soon as possible. What's about with this thing? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next. Repeated a word. i.e. with the next call to the write function, the writer does use a simple buffering strategy so that we are informed about write errors as soon as possible, i.e. with the next call to write to the write function like this. Not doing commas. Check whether the shutdown triggered the error. No need to print a warning in this case. Okay. Release our file descriptor, but releases, but it is just this entry. No close operation is involved here. It must be done prior to calling this function. Releases our file descriptor. Well, something is very fishy, but I'm not sure how to fix it. Note that we currently support only one callback per file descriptor. Great. Never ever pass such a file descriptor, such an FD. Okay, makes bumped if the file descriptor has been duped, and thus we have another file descriptor referencing this context. Sounds great. lop. Count is used to stop the loop as soon as possible. Where does it stop the loop? Count. Not sure. Next, 64-bit. Afterwards, using the same channel for these duplicates works just fine. I did this like 3 times already. In fact, using different channels does not work because support that. Okay, I'm not sure how to fix this. Book minus keeping. Use list lessest, littlest. Choose the lesser of the horizontal and vertical scaling factors. Choose the least. What is lesser? Least means having the smallest amount in a group of things. Lesser is used when you're comparing exactly 2 things. Oh. Okay, I'm not sure how to do this, so let's revert. We still have duplicated name entries, but where are you? Comma. Okay. For robustness, we look for a digit. Okay, I'm going to do this one. If we want, the trace would automatically initialize the debug system without the logs being initialized and missing the S1 log level setting. Great. Not doing minuses. Check that the version of the library is at minimum the requested one. Great. Afterwards, we did this one. Yes. Check sanity of the description and make sure that it is less than. Okay, what's this? Sysadmin repo metadata. Okay. Let's load the current metadata up now that we know we have something to work with. Let's okay. If no key was provided by the engine, this will look up the key. Okay, not sure what this thing is. No commas. A determiner might be missing for x and y and rounds them to the nearest integer value, giving the least distance to target aspect. Not sure what it does. 2 determinants in a row. A pointer to the each field is stored in array. Okay. If binary is 1, then \0 characters are allowed in the output. Sounds okay. Make sure to erase the memory. No commas. Others each. Wow, what's this? Okay, new stuff. Each application currently has its own provider and its own data files, but they can all use each other's files. Sounds okay? Wallpapers are installed to shared location, and many interfaces might want to invoke get new hot stuff download dialog to get them. Desktop containment config window, maybe KDM, other containment config windows, maybe the frame widget config dialog. Like this probably. Is in a URL. Anyways, what is that? Corresponds to owner in Unix, which we'll have to do, since if the user isn't the owner, we can't change permissions anyway. Okay. No comma. No long. If the Q string is the same like the one we read, the same as, it's the same as the one. Okay, what's this? KIO. Sounds okay. We did EG. Lowercase I. Comparison. Okay. Extraneous, this thing. Extraneous. Okay. Meta object, comma, through. Back for SD cards connected via. No commas. If we override the color, the item that inherits gets that color, while the item that does not ignores it. It's missing a comma probably. If we change the color set, the item that inherits gets updated, but the item that does not stays the same. Okay. Give main window commas everywhere. Okay, verifies that this behavior is correct. Where? Not sure. OT is the usual thrust letter. What is this? GPGME. A head-to-head collision is possible. Helper method parses the trash URL with the URL scheme defined in make URL. The trash URL itself isn't parsed here, must be caught by the caller beforehand. Yep. Must be caught. A ton of missing commas. in case the last owner triggered a dismiss, but the dialog is still shown. Looks okay to me. If this is the first item to be hidden, mark it such that okay. The action is not marked. Commas, minus, by default, comma, comma. This is a property. Works okay. The aspect ratio. What is this? A4 in line. Okay. Okay. For a refresh of the theme object given, force a refresh. Okay, comma. The sprites need to resize and redraw here. I did this previously. Okay, next. An RFCS. Wayland protocols. Wow. Minus is off on for change. It is enough to send the changed state, else the full state should be sent. Okay. Not doing outside of. Not doing an RFC. Of EU. Let's do this though. Minus. Anymore. During the list job, KDE trash should have deleted the trash info file since it references a trashed file that doesn't exist anymore. Yes. Not sure if this still works. Okay. Possible typo. Not sure where is the possible typo. Subject everywhere. Comma. Create a compositor proxy. Do it with temporary registry so that client can define its own listener later. And put dots at least where you have at more than one sentence in the same comment. Wait for client in an idle handler to avoid blocking the actual client destruction. File descriptor, closing, etc. Off. Did this. Details was chosen. Show the certificate and error details. this, comma. I guess though, a comma before so, set up the job. Whoa, there's a ton of changes. File save all. This GPG batch pin entry mode loopback passphrase default never. Not sure what that is. Set up the job. Oh. This will not work. Okay, next. Try to add a pre-existent UID. Thus we disable. Thus. Let's not break too much. Let us not break. Okay. Uncomment the next lines and send a whatever. Which won't clean up, clean space up, yep. We did this. We were here. Don't alter the size or. Also images with absolute path needs. Images with absolute path need to have a natural size installed, initialized, even if it looks a bit weird using image set to store non-themed stuff. Okay. Let's check to see. Okay. Upstreams looks okay. Who's? This? Okay. You repeated a word. Does not need to use invoke method as we are not. Yes. And two more. Word begin is not a noun. A streak is solved if it is meshed with exactly one streak, or it is meshed with two and their begin and end indices match. Looks okay. Commas. The solver doesn't distinguish between dealing a new row of cards and removing complete runs from the tableau. So if we're in demo mode and new card is called, we should check to see if there are any complete runs to move before dealing the row. Wait. Subtasks. etc. What is this? Be careful by avoiding WL display at socket auto to offer only the absolutely qualified socket made above. Wayland tests. Okay, great. The from argument provides a clue about where the slide animation begins. Offset is the distance from screen to edge. From argument. Where is the from argument? Okay, looks okay. If more than is past, emit. Comma. Two consecutive dots. Get the type of a structure. Get the type of a structure. Type of structure. Okay. Done that. Etc. In this case, at least one signature was not created, perhaps due to a bad passphrase. Okay, like this. We did that, we did that. The second, third, and fourth octet of flags are unused. Looks okay. Shell metadata. Halfway. Okay, so that should be it. There's a ton of work ahead to find the changes in which KDE Git repository were made. There's also Git repositories that are not part of the KDE community, such as Wayland protocols, GPGME, etc. And a small number of fixes where each KDE Git repository can make it into one Git commit, and each Git commit should be part of a single Git merge request, GitLab merge request. So this should create hundreds of Git merge requests. So it will take me a while to do them. Okay. So this was it. I've installed CLion straight from the website. The only option is to get a free 30-day trial because there's no community edition. So you go there, you download, and then in order to install it, you just unarchive the tar gzip file, and I usually put them in .opt like this. This is the readme file where it says how to install the product. It says just unpack it and then go to the directory where you unpacked it, which is in my case ~/.opt/clion, and then inside of the subdirectory bin this thing, and then run clion.sh. After you run clion.sh the first time, there's this button in the CLion main menu which says Tools, Create Desktop Entry, and you create a desktop entry at least for the current user, which is the default. Because I've installed CLion just for this Linux user, so this is the thing that I really want. So I went OK. After that, CLion appeared in the start menu, like this. Okay, so it's really easy, but it requires a bit of meticulosity to fix many proofreading issues in many Git repositories. Thank you.